My name is Gregory Silver. This, the date, 20 June, the year COVID-24. I am of relatively sound mind and body, and I am under no duress or coercion while I make these remarks. For those few of you who have known me well, you may find it no surprise what is to follow in this recording. Know that this represents my truest wish, my deepest desire, aligned with that which has also been commanded of me. It is with a heart full of vibrant expectancy that I hereby direct that any and all assets, liquid and otherwise, accrued by the here named Gregory Silver up to the present moment in time, 20 June at 23:19 hours in the year COVID-24, be left in their entirety to my son, Peter Gelded, upon the instance of mine death. There, my will, signed, dated, and sealed, to be opened in the event. That is all.
May the prince surpass the king.
To the
To the
prince.
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 You changed the words.
It felt appropriate, this being our 5th year.
What about the rules? The decorum?
It's not about the words. It's about the feeling. The state.
The constable isn't here to say anything about it anymore.
To Francis, the constable. Francis!
Francis,
Francis,
Fine. You know what? I want to change mine too.
we already recorded yours.
Does it have to be so brutal though? I mean, why do we have to do it this way? Can't we just go out to a public place with no mask and risk exposure instead?
that defeats the purpose. It's too uncertain.
And this isn't uncertain?
As certain as a bullet to the head can be.
Certain as yes or no.
It's a 16.6 repeated chance and immediate. Out there, it's much less certain we'll even contract the virus, let alone die from it.
And if we do get it, we could expose others. They're not a part of this.
Well, we would be careful.
This is a suicide pact, Preceptor. How careful do you want to be?
You think of this as a suicide pact, Czar? Dr. O, the Preceptor, is this ultimately what this is for you, the potential escape from the monotony of life?
No.
What is this then, Doctor?
A reminder that life contains an infinite number of possibilities. To seek the ineffable and the extraordinary sense of jubilation, as Graham Greene put it,
To Graham Greene.
To Graham Greene.
Graham Greene.
I'm Green.
Be absolute for death. Either death or life shall thereby be the sweeter.
The Bard.
The Bard.
Let us not forget Mr. Greene himself. He became desensitized over the years. The effectiveness of this ritual wore off for him after repeated revolutions. May our ritual not become habit.
To jubilation.
To ritual.
To possibilities. To Mr. E as well.
To he who directed and created these conditions.
May his death continue to remind us to live.
Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Mr. E.
This is what has been bestowed unto us.
Says the rule breaker.
I'm reminded of my father. Dr. O, you knew him. Do you remember my father?
I do.
Blizzard of 78. It was me, my mother, and my brother. No electricity, no television. They turned off the gas mains in our neighborhood. And we had to cook cans of soup over candles. The National Guard had to bring us bread and milk because the roads were flooded.
It felt like another Christmas vacation.
It was February, right?
It was. And while we were home and excited by the snowbanks that covered the entire first floor windows, my father was stuck in his truck on the side of the road, ended up completely covered by snow, almost froze to death, afraid he'd asphyxiate. No food, only water he had was melted snow.
I don't remember this.
When he finally got home, he felt different to me.
He was lucky to have lived.
I remember looking at his face and seeing him, really seeing him for the first time as a person, not as my father. He was 3 days without food and barely any water, but he said it only felt like 8 hours. My mother, she forced Andrew and me to hug him when he came home. And I didn't want to, because I wasn't close to him. I wasn't close to him to begin with, and because it felt. And he got down on one knee and held us for a moment, and then stood up and went to the other room. And I remember that feeling when your body shakes from the nape. I didn't want to cry. I wasn't upset. I didn't feel relieved, uncomfortable. But that isn't the right word for it either. After that, there was a sharp thickness to the air around him. But a soft thickness too, a sadness. After that, things were slower or richer around him. He scared us too. Because, when you've done something wrong,
I remember that time we shot out the windows to your garage with BB guns. He told me, if you already know it's bad and you do it anyway, you've committed a sin.
anyway, it's not how we felt in his presence. It's how he changed. The presence.
I wish for presence.
My aim is now.
I will to be.
We will that we attain our will. Now, today.
Shall we perform the customary toast?
May our
Our
fellowship
fellowship
remain
in
a state of transcendence
transcendence
in
in
perpetuity.
perpetuity.
I'll take the preceptor's family. You call the ministers.
Yes. To Gregory.
To Richard. To Francis.
To Francis. To Mr. E.
May their deaths remind us to live.